Welcome, curious minds and seekers of wonder. Join me on an extraordinary journey into the ancient past, where we'll uncover incredible biblical structures that have baffled scientists, historians, and explorers alike. These remarkable wonders challenge our understanding, defying explanation and igniting our imaginations. From astonishing feats of engineering to miraculous events that continue to captivate hearts and minds, prepare to be amazed, inspired, and left speechless. If you're ready for an unforgettable exploration, don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe to my channel, and share this exciting journey with your friends and family. Across the ages, humanity has been captivated by astonishing constructions recorded in the Bible, structures so remarkable they have spurred endless debate, wonder, and awe. Let us journey together into these legendary wonders, revisiting their stories with rich detail, emotional resonance, and dramatic imagery. We begin in a world on the brink of devastation, where corruption had consumed humanity and darkness threatened to erase all that was good. Noah was entrusted with an extraordinary task, constructing a vessel beyond human comprehension, a lifeline for creation itself. In an age overshadowed by corruption, violence, and moral decay, humanity had plunged into a darkness that seemed irreversible. Yet amidst the chaos and depravity, a single voice emerged, clear, resonant, and divine. It called upon Noah, a man known not for worldly power or riches, but for his unwavering integrity, kindness, and righteousness in an otherwise lost world. Divine instructions, precise and overwhelming in their magnitude, guided Noah to embark on the most ambitious construction project the ancient world had ever seen. A vast wooden vessel, designed to survive a cataclysmic flood that would reshape the earth. Measuring nearly 450 feet in length, 75 feet in width, and 45 feet in height, this ark was astonishing not only in scale, but in its extraordinary engineering complexity. The craftsmanship required was beyond comprehension for a society presumed to rely on rudimentary tools of wood and stone. Day after grueling day, year after relentless year, Noah and his family labored tirelessly, driven by absolute faith and obedience. Skeptics mocked and questioned their sanity, unable to comprehend the looming disaster foretold by Noah. Yet undeterred, Noah meticulously followed the divine blueprint, crafting the ark's hull, reinforcing beams, carefully sealing each joint with pitch to ensure absolute watertightness, and creating living compartments that would safely house an astonishing variety of creatures. Modern scientists and engineers marvel and debate fiercely the feasibility of Noah's achievement, contemplating the staggering task of gathering materials, ensuring structural integrity, and providing ample ventilation and sanitation aboard the ark. Remarkably, the ark's dimensions closely resemble those of modern cargo vessels, perfectly optimized for stability and resilience against the fierce currents and mountainous waves of a global flood. As the heavens opened, unleashing torrents of rain and upheaval from deep within the earth, mountains became submerged. Valleys vanished beneath relentless waters, and the world transformed into an endless ocean. Amid this devastation, Noah's Ark floated steadfastly, a sanctuary amidst chaos. It became an isolated oasis of life, sheltering thousands of pairs of animals from across the globe, predators alongside prey, the exotic alongside the common, united in shared survival. Inside this floating refuge, Noah faced immense logistical challenges, feeding, cleaning, and maintaining harmony among creatures as diverse as lions, lambs, elephants, and doves. The ark was a microcosm of creation itself, carefully managed through wisdom, patience, and unwavering trust in divine providence. When the waters finally receded, the ark settled gently upon the mountains of Ararat. Noah emerged into a purified world, a rebirth of humanity and nature, testament to resilience, redemption, and hope. The ark remains an enduring symbol of divine grace, a powerful intersection of faith, obedience, and human ingenuity. Today, full-scale replicas such as the Ark encounter in Kentucky allow visitors to step into Noah's shoes, vividly experiencing the monumental effort and profound faith required to bring this biblical marvel to life. The story of Noah's Ark continues to fascinate, inspire, and challenge, forever inviting us to reflect on humanity's potential to achieve the impossible through divine guidance. As the floodwaters receded and the world was made anew, humanity stood united, bound by a single language and an unstoppable ambition. Their sights turned skyward, and with unshakable confidence, they sought to construct a tower that would reach the heavens. Determined to carve their own destiny, they set their sights on the heavens, erecting a monument to their own greatness. Brick by brick, their tower climbed skyward. But little did they know that the higher they built, the closer they came to an intervention that would change civilization forever. After the devastating flood, humanity regrouped and gathered anew on the expansive plains of Shinar. Unified by a common language and driven by boundless ambition, they sought to build an extraordinary city that would stand as a monument to human achievement. At the heart of their grand vision was an awe-inspiring tower, whose lofty pinnacle would pierce the clouds, symbolizing mankind's relentless desire to reach the divine itself. Architects and laborers began constructing this ambitious monument with unprecedented zeal. Bricks baked from the fertile clay soil and mortar blended meticulously from bitumen were assembled layer upon towering layer. The monumental structure, conceived with immense pride, began to rise impressively towards the heavens. Historians and archaeologists speculate that this ambitious tower resembled Mesopotamian ziggurats, magnificent stepped pyramids found in ancient cities such as Babylon. Most notably, the towering Itemenanki, dedicated to the god Marduk, stood as an iconic inspiration for the biblical account, reaching heights that were previously unimaginable. As humanity drew closer to completing this colossal marvel, confidence surged, overshadowing reverence, humility, and dependence on the divine. Pride swelled within their hearts, fostering the belief that they could control their own destiny, immortalizing their name across generations without divine consent. Yet in this very act of defiance, humanity unknowingly approached a critical turning point. Divine observation grew heavy with sorrow and displeasure, witnessing the dangerous trajectory of human arrogance. At this pivotal moment, the Creator intervened dramatically to halt their unchecked ambition. In an instant, confusion swept through the builders like a tidal wave, language itself fragmented into a multitude of incomprehensible tongues. The harmonious symphony of cooperation dissolved instantly into a chaotic cacophony of misunderstood instructions and bewildered cries. Workers, suddenly unable to communicate, halted construction in frustration and confusion. Once united families and friends separated, dispersing in every direction, carrying their new languages and isolated cultures to distant corners of the earth. Construction ceased abruptly, leaving the unfinished tower as a poignant symbol of thwarted ambition and human limitations. Today, scholars remain intrigued by the Tower of Babel, debating its historical and symbolic significance. Was it a divine judgment upon humanity's hubris, a historical account embellished by legend, or perhaps both? The story of Babel continues to echo powerfully, warning generations of the inherent dangers when humanity's ambition eclipses humility, respect, and reverence for divine order. It remains an enduring narrative of caution and humility, forever illustrating the profound consequences of prideful ambition against the backdrop of divine sovereignty. With time, great cities rose, their towering walls standing as symbols of power, defiance, and dominion. But no fortress was more impenetrable than the one standing between the Israelites and their divine destiny, a city whose fate would be decided not by war, but by an act of faith. Yet among the many challenges ahead, one city stood as an unyielding barrier between the Israelites and their divine promise. Jericho, impenetrable, its walls thick, its gates sealed, seemed an impossible challenge. Yet victory would not come through siege or battle, but through an act of unwavering faith that defied all logic. The ancient city of Jericho, one of humanity's oldest fortified settlements, stood formidable and daunting, its walls thick, towering, and impenetrable. To Joshua and the Israelites, these imposing fortifications seemed an insurmountable obstacle to their divine promise, a promised land tantalizingly close, yet fiercely guarded by formidable defenses. In a striking demonstration of faith and obedience, Joshua received unusual divine commands, not instructions of warfare or siege, but a directive for a silent and solemn march. For 6 consecutive days, the Israelites quietly encircled Jericho, their footsteps softly whispering on the sandy ground, their hearts beating in quiet anticipation and awe. The inhabitants of Jericho watched from atop their mighty walls, bemused by the silent processions, oblivious to the storm about to descend. On the 7th day, as dawn broke with a golden hue, Joshua's followers prepared for a final march. This time, after completing 7 circuits, their silent reverence erupted into a mighty crescendo. Trumpets blared thunderously, their sound piercing the sky like celestial clarions. Voices rose in powerful unity, shouting cries of triumph that echoed across the valley. And suddenly, in an astonishing moment of divine intervention, Jericho's seemingly invincible walls trembled violently, shaking and cracking until they collapsed spectacularly into dust and rubble. Soldiers stood frozen in disbelief, residents inside fled in panic, and archaeologists millennia later would puzzle over this dramatic event. Excavations indeed uncovered remnants of collapsed fortifications, aligning remarkably with biblical chronology. Scientists speculate fiercely. Was it a synchronized earthquake, meticulously timed by divine providence? Or did sound vibrations from the trumpet blasts hold an unknown destructive force collapsing the city's walls through resonance? This miraculous event continues to captivate modern imaginations, reinforcing the belief in the divine and defying natural explanation. Today, Jericho remains a powerful narrative symbolizing the triumph of faith over earthly might, vividly illustrating how profound belief can dismantle even the mightiest barriers, leaving humanity humbled and speechless in the face of divine wonder. With their land secured and their people flourishing, Israel entered a golden age, and at its heart, a vision took form, one of gold, cedar, and divine craftsmanship. A sanctuary beyond imagination, built not only for kings but for the presence of God Himself. It was time to build something greater than walls and fortresses, a sanctuary fit for the divine. And so in the heart of Jerusalem, artisans and builders worked tirelessly, carving stone, crafting gold, and raising a temple that would become the very soul of a nation. Under the reign of the wise and prosperous King Solomon, Jerusalem blossomed into a golden era of peace, prosperity, and unparalleled splendor. At the heart of this thriving kingdom arose one of history's most revered and astonishing architectural masterpieces. The sacred temple, constructed to house the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of divine presence and eternal promise. Timbers of rich cedar were carefully selected and harvested from the lush, legendary forests of Lebanon, their fragrance permeating the air during their transport to Jerusalem, an enduring testament to ancient craftsmanship and logistical mastery. Master artisans shaped these timbers into sturdy beams and intricately carved panels that defined the temple's grandeur. Walls of stone, quarried and painstakingly smoothed to flawless perfection, were meticulously covered in layers of pure gold, shimmering brilliantly under sunlight and torchlight alike. Precious gemstones of varied hues, deep sapphires, vibrant emeralds, and fiery rubies were thoughtfully embedded within the design, reflecting light in mesmerizing patterns, creating an atmosphere of profound holiness and awe. At the temple's entrance, 2 immense and majestic bronze pillars, named Jachin, meaning he will establish, and Boaz, meaning in him is strength, stood solemnly, symbolizing strength, permanence, and divine protection. Intricately cast and expertly polished, these colossal columns became iconic symbols of faith and devotion, greeting worshippers who approached the temple with reverence and humility. Within the temple's sacred confines lay a mysterious chamber known as the Holy of Holies, hidden behind an ornate veil woven with gold threads embroidered with celestial imagery. This inner sanctuary held the Ark of the Covenant, sacred and untouchable, its presence radiating divine majesty. Only the high priest could enter, and then only once a year on the Day of Atonement, in solemn ritual and deep spiritual contemplation, underscoring humanity's profound reverence for divine mystery. Though the temple was eventually destroyed by Babylonian forces in 586 BCE, its breathtaking treasures seized, its sacred spaces desecrated, and its walls torn asunder, its memory persisted vividly within the hearts and collective memory of the Jewish people. No definitive physical traces remain today, hidden beneath Jerusalem's layered history and modern structures, such as the Dome of the Rock. Yet, the longing for tangible remnants drives scholars and archaeologists to continually probe beneath Jerusalem's ancient streets, seeking the temple's foundations and artifacts that might once again connect humanity to its divine past. Solomon's temple endures as a timeless symbol of spiritual aspiration, artistic excellence, and divine communion, profoundly shaping religious tradition and identity. Immortalized forever in human consciousness as the ultimate dwelling place of God among humanity. As the tides of history shifted, empires clashed, rulers rose and fell, and Jerusalem bore witness to both glory and ruin. Yet one king sought to leave an eternal mark, transforming the sacred temple into a structure so grand that it would rival the wonders of the ancient world. Then came a king who sought to restore what had been lost, to rebuild the sacred temple, grander and mightier than before. A marvel of engineering and devotion, it became a beacon for millions. Yet even the greatest of human achievements could not escape the hand of destiny. Centuries after Solomon's temple vanished beneath the sands of history, King Herod rose to power in Judea, blending ambitious political strategy with a profound desire to immortalize himself in stone and legacy. Recognizing the spiritual significance Jerusalem held, Herod set forth an audacious plan to transform the modest Second Temple into a majestic architectural masterpiece, one that would surpass all contemporary wonders and inspire awe among pilgrims and dignitaries alike. Under Herod's meticulous oversight, construction began with an astounding scale and vision. The temple grounds expanded dramatically, involving sophisticated engineering feats previously considered impossible. Massive retaining walls composed of colossal stones weighing hundreds of tons each were painstakingly positioned to enlarge and fortify the temple platform. To this day, the immense size and precision placement of these stones bewilder modern engineers, who grapple to understand how ancient builders could achieve such precision without modern machinery. At the heart of this sprawling complex stood the temple itself, resplendent with gleaming white marble and adorned with intricate carvings and lavish golden ornaments. Towering gates and expansive courtyards welcomed thousands of worshippers, creating an environment of deep reverence and grandeur. Priests conducted sacred rituals, incense wafted fragrantly through the air, and prayers rose continually toward heaven, embodying Israel's deepest spiritual aspirations. The temple's magnificence extended beyond its physical grandeur. Ancient historian Josephus vividly described Herod's temple as a dazzling spectacle, unmatched in its beauty and brilliance, its gold-plated walls reflecting sunlight so brilliantly it dazzled viewers even at great distances. The expansive Temple Mount was buttressed by immense retaining walls, including the enduring Western Wall, which stands today as a powerful testament to the resilience and endurance of the Jewish faith. Yet, despite its grandeur, tragedy awaited this architectural marvel. In 70 CE, Roman forces laid siege to Jerusalem, their assault culminating in the catastrophic destruction of Herod's temple. This tragic event was prophesied vividly by Jesus, who solemnly warned that not one stone would remain atop another. The temple's destruction not only represented physical ruin, but symbolized a profound spiritual and cultural loss for the Jewish people. Today, only fragments remain, most notably the Western Wall, which continues to draw countless visitors who come to mourn, pray, and remember the temple's former glory. Scholars, engineers, and archaeologists remain captivated by Herod's construction techniques, puzzled by how ancient craftsmen lifted stones weighing over 500 tons and puzzled by the sophisticated engineering methods employed. Herod's temple, despite its destruction, lives on through history as an extraordinary expression of human ambition, political might, and spiritual devotion. It embodies the profound intersection between human creativity, divine inspiration, and historical destiny. These biblical constructions continue to transcend human understanding, challenging science, inspiring wonder, and standing as eternal monuments to humanity's capacity for greatness and its profound vulnerability in the face of divine sovereignty. And there we have it, the greatest biblical constructions that continue to amaze humanity, challenging our understanding and inspiring endless fascination. These incredible structures remain timeless testaments to human ambition, divine intervention, and the mysteries beyond our comprehension. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which construction captivated you the most? Do you have questions or theories about these biblical marvels? Share your insights in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this journey, please show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell so you never miss our latest explorations. Sharing this video with friends and family helps us grow our community of curious minds. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, supporting, and being part of this adventure. Your presence means the world to me. Until next time, stay curious and inspired.